I want to bring back presidential historian Doug Brinkley. Doug, you're a presidential historian. We've established that. How do you measure ambition? Well, the first yardstick for Jimmy Carter was that 140 miles from Plains to Atlanta.
Well, and at an early age, he learned to be a cross-country runner, do marathons. He was really good at it during his Navy years. He was driven like nobody's business. And he really believed that his integrity mattered incredibly. I once went into the America's Public Library just to look at local histories, and I saw a document Jimmy Carter wrote taping a dime on it. He had gone into the local library, wanted to Xerox something, didn't have a dime, borrowed a dime from a librarian there, and here it is 4 days later, he scotch tapes the dime to return it to who had loaned it to him. I once was with him driving between Plains to Atlanta. We stopped at a roadside cafe for catfish lunch, and I ordered that with a Coke, and he ordered a Coke, and the waitress, so nice, said, "Well, I'm sorry, we only have Pepsi." And he just glared at her and said, "Then bring me water." Because Coke was the big Atlanta, big Georgia company that helped Democrats, that helped him. Charles Curbo worked with Coke and the whole bit. So he could be very stubborn in those kind of ways. And then
And there's no way to catapult himself to the White House without becoming governor of Georgia.
No, and the run for governor was disappointing when he landed. He felt devastated in 1966, losing. And that's when he has that moment in North Carolina with his sister Ruth and has a spiritual experience talking about God and Christ and always remaining a believer. And he came at things in 70 with a different kind of gusto. He had a man named David Rabahan, the only Jewish entrepreneur in Georgia with an office in Dr. King's Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And he had a private plane. So he would drop and go and take Carter to the Okefenokee Swamp or downtown Valdosta. Eventually Carter had to kind of go because he didn't want to see like he was overusing the plane. Carter was known for aggressiveness. If you look at why he won or did well in Iowa caucus in 76, and then in New Hampshire, he banged doors, shook hands, bang, bang, met everybody, this kind of nonstop determination to humanize our politics. And he had enough friends, the Peanut Brigade, from where we're looking at, Atlanta to America's Plains Belt, often led by John and Betty Pope, his closest friends who are now deceased, but they would deliver. And when you go door to door and saying, "I want you to vote for Jimmy Carter," I know him, I'm coming from Georgia, it had a power.
And he did it all with a smile.
Yes.
People believed him, and he was the right man at that particular time.
Exactly.
Douglas Brinkley, thank you so much.